There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a somewhat frustrated random DOS game show. And you're probably thinking, Lawnie, frustrated? Why? Well, this is Sargon III, which is a chess game, as it's probably apparent, looking at the board. And it's by Dan and Cafe Spracklin. But this is the IBM adaptation by Kevin E. Lavelle. And the problem we have is that this is in text mode. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what's wrong with that? I mean, sure, it's dated, but it's playable, isn't it? And I'd be like, yeah, it is playable, but there is apparently a CGA mode and an options menu, but I can't find the manual. And the manual I can find online in archive.org is too general in nature. I'd have to sift through it forever. So I don't know how to get to the options menu of Sargon III in order to give you the lovely CGA mode, which I'll display on the screen now. Yeah, I'd love to see that, but apparently I can't. So we enter the moves that we want to make by, typing the number and letter combination. So D2 to, let's go D3. Enter. Invalid move. What? Because I entered D3. I entered 3 instead of D3. What an idiot. So you watch the move execute, and then there's a little blinking thing beside Sargon as he has a little think and decides, yes, I'm going to move my pawn out. So let's follow that up with F2 to F3. Aha! What do you think of that, Sargon III? So he says, I'm going to bring out my knight, which looks more like a snake, because this is text graphics, which are entirely representational, but chess players won't care about that. If you do, then you'll definitely want to look up the Apple II version, which is black and white and has a lovely board with chess pieces, or the Amiga version, or the Atari ST version. The DOS version is an adaptation for the IBM, which is not as good. I mean, the chess engine is probably, right up there, but the presentation is somewhat lacking, shall we say. So I'm just having a little pawn line here and waiting for Sargon to sort of observe this and be like, right, so you're going to play it that way. I'm going to destroy you. Now, I could bring my knight out on G1 there, but there's little point. So instead, I am going to confuse him. B1 to C3. Yeah, you weren't expecting that, Sargon. And so it continues. He's brought out his bishop. Let's put one of my knights under threat. I'll move my knight out. G1 to, let's see, H3. There. Get him out of the way. Now what will he do? He'll bring his own knight out, giving him positional advantage. And I'll not do anything because, this is intensely boring. Not because it's a bad game, but because the text pieces are not fun. I'd much rather have the CGA graphics. The fact that I don't know the options to switch means that I'll not linger much further on this. Sargon III itself is an excellent little chess program and bridges the gap between the text-based chess programs of yesteryear through to the Chessmaster style. But unfortunately this adaptation, rather than being a straight-up conversion, leaves something to be desired, to say the least. Who would I recommend it for? Nobody. Go and play the Macintosh version, or the Amiga version, or the Atari ST version, and spare yourself the pain of looking at these terrible text graphics. Good game, bad presentation, which is a shame. And if you like me briefly talking about chess games, then you probably want my Chessmaster or Cyrus videos. They were much better than this, both in terms of presentation and in terms of how they played chess. But then again, they came out a few years later than this one, so it's probably not a fair comparison. Feel free to take a look at the hundreds of other videos on my channel, and if you like what you see, you can always subscribe. And if you're a bit of a chess master yourself, and Sargon III is no threat to you, you're probably one of my galaxy-brained patrons who dream about thousands of chess moves in their sleep. A wonderful secret cabal. Look at those great names. Not much more to say about this one. Until next time.